What's going on, YouTube? Got another knife review here for you. Today we're going to be looking at the Todd Begg Steelcraft series. This is the Kwaiken. This is a knife that is commissioned from Todd Begg and Company to David Deng at Reate Knives. And, you know, there's really no introduction needed for David at Reate. He started building up his reputation with, I think, his Horizon model, and people started. He introduced it at maybe Blade 2013, 14. I think maybe 14. Hasn't been that long, and really just took the knife scene by storm. The things that he's able to do, the quality that he's able to produce, the smoothness, the fit and finish that he's able to put out. Not just that he's able to put out, but for the prices. And I mean, that's China, China at its best, if you will. Um, and he's an example of, hopefully the future of China. Maybe a more capitalist version of China. But I don't know. That's maybe a little early to say, but. Anyway, what can I say here? Yeah, David Deng, and I'm gonna make a video eventually, but essentially, really, what I want to say is, David Deng, and I put this on my Instagram. David Deng and Mike at Custom Knife Factory, they've completely changed the landscape of the knife industry, or at least the production knife industry. And even, quite honestly, I'll even say the custom knife industry, because I think that what they've done here, on this knife and with, Liang Ma's, releases of all his knives, with Faisal Yamin, doing a release with their knives, Todd Begg, like a name as huge as Todd Begg, doing a collaboration with David Deng. I mean, that speaks volumes, right, in the knife industry. And to put up, quite honestly, quality of this caliber, that's, dude, higher than this, potentially even higher than this, save for the details, that go on this knife. But, cracked ice, it's a cool feature, but it's not that expensive. $1,300 knife or $1,200 knife compared to a $445 retail value knife. Dude, you're getting so much in this knife. It's just absolutely, like, David is killing it. If he was a capitalist here in America, he would be raking in so much money. I shudder at the thought of how much China is taking from from his factory. But anyway, all that aside, you've got the Kwaiken here with a 4-inch S35 blade, S35 VM blade. Ridiculously sharp, acid stonewash. This was a Blackout version that I purchased. They have this one as well as a gray kind of natural finish version, maybe more of a bead blast stonewash finish version. And this one I've customized myself. I'll talk a little bit more about it later. But now it's kind of a gold bronze anodization left with the black blade. So all titanium frame lock, clip, ceramic pocket clip, detent ball, whatever, and then ceramic IKBS inside, actual real IKBS in the pivot, not a cage bearing system in there. Got full milling as well as this mill pattern on here as well. That has the kind of the shine polish. You got the signature Todd Begg holes on the frame. You've got a steel insert on the inside. You got a titanium backspacer as well with an integral lanyard loop on the back here. Probably wouldn't really serve well as a skull crusher, but impact, it's gonna do some damage. And then you got a nice polished fuller. It's huge, just upswept blade here, almost Persian style, but you know, really it's Kwaiken style. Compared to the Kwaiken here, you can see, you know, this is definitely a chunkier knife. You get, you know, more material, but it's also S35 VN steel. This one's got the custom, you know, pivots and all that stuff. Todd Begg Bodega, you know, the original titanium version. Really the Kwaiken that started it all, in my opinion, the Lucas Burnley. This is the Boker Plus version with the titanium scales. And then here you've got, of course, as always, the Sebenza Large 21, just for size comparison. You know, this knife was the first, not the first Reate knife that I'd handled. I actually, when I went to a get-together here in the Bay Area, I got to handle one of my friend's Warriors as well as the Ace. And I was blown away. I was blown away by the quality. Those were the first. I've never handled a Horizon or a Torrent or anything like that. But those are the first Reate produced knives that I'd ever tried. And they were, I mean, so solid. They were so smooth. Fit and finish was incredible. And, you know, for me, I was like, dude, I'm completely sold on these Reate knives. You know, these reviews are not just, you know, kissing ass and all stuff. Sorry for the the language. I usually don't do that. But, you know, they weren't just kissing David's butt. You know, he was putting out some really high quality stuff. And so when this came out, you know, having seen some of the custom, you know, Kwaikens that are out there that Todd made, I just jumped out at the opportunity. So I pre-ordered it from one of the main knife sites, and eventually it came out. I think it was Blade HQ. Finally, the Blackout version came out, and they sent it out. And when I opened it up, I was completely blown away. I thought I had the packaging somewhere, but oh, here it is. You know, it came in this, you know, nice box, you know, kind of like a Boker Plus box, you know, with all this little paperwork and, you know, documenting all the stuff and details, a little sticker in there, foam cutout, you know, all that stuff produced by David, you know, was pretty awesome, you know. So the presentation was great, you know. Then you flip out the knife the first time, and it was just like, dude, the thing just rockets out, and it's smooth, you know. It's not like this, I don't know, like machine industrial, like just like hard flip, you know. It hard flips, but it's also a smooth flip, you know. Doesn't necessarily fall on its own weight, but at the same time, just incredibly smooth knife. You know, this is a pretty lightweight blade. You know, there's a lot that's taken out, you know, from this grind. It comes to an incredibly thin edge. You got this swedge on top. You got a fuller cutout. You know, so it's a pretty light blade, and it just falls. You know, a test for smoothness. If you engage that lock bar and kind of push the blade up, you know, this thing just falls so easily. And you know, whether it's on the ceramic detent or what, or on the IKBS, you know, it just flies right out. You know, this knife, this Kwaiken midtech, I've had to take this thing apart and tune it and tune the, you know, HRD, the rolling detent, you know, over and over again. Even, you know, this is on cage bearings. You know, even though I have it relatively dialed in now, still nowhere near as smooth as this knife. You know, and this was a $600 knife, I think. You know, again, it's thicker blade stock. It's, you know, slightly different style blade, thicker titanium handles, and all those things. So very heavy, very dense blade. But again, you know, material wise, milling wise, I think there's more work that goes into this, you know, this knife in all actuality. So I think this one is really worth, you know, the price that you get. You know, the original Kwaiken from Lucas Burnley, you know, from Boker Plus, this is like $100 knife or so. with the steel. Now it's, offering VG10. This was actually the AUS 8 version. But, just you see the similar kind of lines and these different interpretations from Todd Begg and from Jake Hoback and whatnot. So, yeah, overall, this knife, to be quite honest, is spectacular, and it offers up a blank enough canvas, if you will, to do your own customizations. If you go to Todd's website, beggknives.com, he offers right now a Steelcraft customized package, where they do blue ones or like blue gold or different kind of finishes, or they polish the flats and whatnot. There's another guy on Instagram. His name escapes me right now. I'm gonna look it up on my phone. SoCal something. Sorry, it's gonna take a little bit. SoCal Knife Works. Yeah, SoCal Knife Works. He does incredible anodization jobs, and he's done some pretty phenomenal projects, on these Kwaikens from Todd Begg. If you were to look at Trevor's Gen Crade's Instagram, he's got some pictures of just an incredibly done one. He does like splash anodizations and different polishes and all kinds of things. He does cracked ice finishes, on the clips and wherever you want it. And so it's pretty cool, what you can do, with this kind of mid-tech knife, if you will. For mine, personally, I just anodized it. I stuck it, with the full black wash. I was actually just wanting to anodize these little polished milled parts here. And what ended up happening is, when I stuck it in the anodization bath, that whatever the finish was on this, I think it's a DLC. Is it a DLC or is it a titanium? I think it's a titanium nitride finish. And so it's a pretty hard coat finish, and what it ended up doing is kind of burned off, and so it was really slow and anodizing. I was trying to get it to be blue. I put it at 24.2 voltage, thinking that it would come out to this kind of blue right here on these lines, and because of that titanium nitride coating for the black wash version, it ended up just slowly anodizing, kind of just evened out at this bronze. And when I took it out, I was like, wow, I really like the contrast of that bronze with the black wash blade. So really the only thing, if I wanted to go further, would be to polish these flats, but I don't have something, a rig set up yet to polish it out. But overall, this knife, ergonomics are phenomenal on this knife. No hot spots whatsoever. Really the only small knock, two little things on this knife. One is these exposed holes on the lock bar. I really wish that he'd be able to just screw these in without exposing these screws. Kind of just detracts a little bit from the look of the knife. And then the other thing is that I've noticed, and I'll do this on my other review on the SDC from the Liangma, is these cutouts here. The milling is extremely sharp. These edges are not broken whatsoever. And so that's one thing that I'd actually encourage, if David watches these videos, I'd really encourage him to break those edges ever so slightly, because that actually goes a long way. I don't think you have to chamfer them. Like on a Sebenza, you have slightly chamfered edges right there. And so, it's really smooth at a touch. There's no hard edges that are going to catch you. But these catch you quite a bit and can scratch you, if you're not careful. And so that's, one little slight lock. And I don't know if his Horizons or if his, or if the other ones are like that. The Jake Hoback one, these edges are just slightly broken, so they don't catch you nearly as much as, say, the Horizon, or I'm sorry, as the Reate produced Kwaiken, sorry, does. So I'm starting to stumble over my words. I've been talking too much, but that's my little review of the Todd Begg Steelcraft Kwaiken, produced by Reate Knives, David Deng. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next vid. Take care. Bye.